morning, and welcome to another day of living out of the back of my van, traveling around the country. Today, we are at the beach. This morning, I decided to drive down here and head over to the dentist office because my birthday is in, 6 days? And I will be turning 26. And if you aren't familiar, when you turn 26, if you're on your parents' health insurance plan, which I'm on my mom's because she's a teacher, your health insurance runs out and you can no longer be on your parents' plan. So I have approximately 6 days until my health insurance runs out, dental, eye, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm running around getting a bunch of stuff done before I'm off that, and then I gotta find a way to get my own insurance. So we are currently parked on the side of the road. This is the van that I live in. If you aren't familiar, my name is Ryan and I live in the back of my self-converted camper van. That's her right there. All the lights are off, so it's kind of dark in there. But this morning we drove down here to this spot on the street because I found this dentist office that was down here by the beach, and we're gonna try to stealth camp down here. And I was thinking I might take this spot, but I'm kind of sticking out into this person's driveway a little bit, so I just don't feel like risking it. So we're gonna have to go find somewhere else to stealth camp for the night. But before we can get into that and the rest of this video, I want to take a second to thank this video's sponsor, and that is BetterHelp. So with being on the road 24/7, sometimes it can get super lonely, and not having a lot of human interaction means I don't have a lot of people that I can reach out to or talk to, at least on a regular basis. And regardless whether you have a clinically diagnosed issue, if you're just lonely, or if you're just going through a hard time, sometimes therapy could be a good way for you to find the tools to approach your life in kind of a different way. So BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more accessible and affordable to everyone, which I think is a pretty cool mission because sometimes it can be pretty hard to find a therapist, especially when you're on the road 24/7 and your house moves every single day. And the BetterHelp platform makes finding a therapist super easy because it's all online, so all you really need is an internet connection. And after you log in and answer a few questions, they'll get you connected with a therapist in as little as a few days. It's super easy to sign up, and I actually have a link listed below in the description. And clicking that not only supports this channel, but also gets you 10% off. And another thing, it's super easy to switch therapists once you sign up at no additional cost and without stressing out your insurance company. So if you have something you're struggling with or you're thinking about getting therapy with BetterHelp, click the link in the description below. And I just want to say thank you again to BetterHelp for supporting this video, and I'll send you guys back. Maybe a little bit closer to the beach down there. And I don't really think I should have any issues finding any spots because it's still morning time, it's the middle of the week, so people might still be at work, and it should be kind of easy to hopefully find a spot to camp. So I'm not really looking for any spot in particular. I'm just gonna kind of drive around up and down these beachside streets until I find somewhere that looks good enough where I think I can stay the night, because a lot of these beach towns, the best place to camp for the night is in kind of residential areas, but it's kind of hit or miss. And if you're gonna do this, you have to be respectful about it. There's some kind of unwritten rules, at least in my opinion, when you're stealth camping. One of which obviously being, be respectful of where you're staying, don't leave trash, don't be loud, don't be obnoxious, don't be in the way, don't be sitting there with your door open, just kind of hanging out and lounging around. And then 2 is just don't stay anywhere for more than one night. If you're gonna be stealth camping in the city and you're gonna be taking someone's parking spot, or you're gonna be parked up in front of their house, don't stay there for more than one night. Move around and try not to stay in the same area more than one night is typically what I try to do, just because I get it. Nobody wants someone parked out in front of their house living in the back of a van. So I try to be as respectful as possible and not do this whenever I can, but sometimes you just have to. So right now we're just driving around looking for a spot, hoping we can find one. And also we are currently in San Diego, and this is like van life mecca. There was one that we just drove past back there, one van lifer right there, an RV right there, another van lifer right there. So you can only really be so stealthy down here because people really know what they're looking for. And the vast majority of people don't really enjoy the fact that there's a bunch of people living in their vans down here in the city. But to be fair, most of the people that are down here are kind of a more permanent living down here. I'm just kind of a visitor. We'll see. There's another truck camper right there, another van right there. So you kind of get my point. All right, so I think I found a good spot right there in front of these cars. Typically, if I can help it, I like to park on the side of a more main road than a residential one as well, just because it helps not being directly in front of someone's house. There we go. This looks good enough. And I like to park all the way in the front up to the if I can, right up to the fire line so no one parks in front of me, so I can pull out really easily if I need to. There we go. This is our stealth camping spot for the night. So my brother actually lives here in San Diego, but he is out of town for the day. I'm down here, I'm gonna go see him probably tomorrow, and then my sister and her husband are flying out for their own San Diego vacation, so I'm gonna go see them. But for now and for today, we're alone here camping on the streets. So definitely not a bad spot. I'll probably tuck my mirrors in a little bit later, but I'm not too worried about it right now. But I am absolutely starving because I woke up super early this morning to head down to the dentist. So I think I might take my skateboard out and go find somewhere, get some breakfast. And the perk of being at the beach is this morning it was pretty cold, so I had to have a hoodie on. But now during the day, it's starting to warm up. So beaches are great for sleeping at, great for being at if you live in a van, especially in the heat of summer, because they're always nice and cool at night. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even really look up any breakfast places. I'm just thinking I'll be able to ride around, find one, and then get some breakfast because I want to get out and explore more anyways when I park in places like this. So I figured I've got to come across one eventually. Not much sun coming through, probably because there's a hurricane coming towards Southern California, and it's actually the first one in I think like what, 100 years or something like that. Some crazy amount of time since a hurricane has hit California. And there's one coming this weekend. It does look like there's some stuff down there, so I'm gonna see if we can find some breakfast. When I'm in places like this, I like to take the longboard out more than I do the e-bike just because it's a little more convenient. Van lifer, van lifer, van lifer. All over the place down here. All right, that little shop over there says Cafe Bella. Hopefully they got some sort of breakfast sandwich. Can I just get a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel with a medium Americano? Snag one of these tables.
Here's that bagel for you.
Thank you very much. Favorite meal of the day. Lots of planes in this area. So one of the toughest things to do when you're living in a van, especially when you're living alone, is forcing yourself to get out and explore by yourself. I swear, there really isn't much better in this world than a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel and a coffee, which I actually just realized I left over there. Breakfast complete. Let's get out of here. Thank you, everyone. There we go. We've made it to the ocean. And down here, we have officially made it to terrain where my mode of transportation has become obsolete. So from here on out, we're on foot. But it is absolutely beautiful out here. I think these are tidal pools down here right next to the pier, and I think you can walk down these things for miles if you really want to. And there should be a couple beach coves up here that we can hang out in. A bunch of little crabs in these tide pools though. Little guy running away. Look at them all. Pretty neat little cove. I think there might be one on the other side of this rock as well. Go check that out. Looks like some people down here might be doing some cliff jumping. That looks like fun. But anyways, when you're camping at spots like this on the beach, you kind of have two choices for things you can do. You can either stay in the van all day because you don't want to be getting in and out of the van, or you can stay outside of the van all day. And today I chose to stay outside of the van and come check things out. So we probably won't head back there pretty much until we're ready to settle down and make some dinner tonight, just so we don't draw any attention to ourselves and let people know kind of that we're living on the side of the street. But I'm not complaining because it is pretty spectacular out here.
Oh, there's like bugs on the walls.
Pretty cool spot. And it goes back in here pretty far. And even connects out that side too. Woo! Oh, there's little minnows in here. Bet you it's cool to come back here during high tide. See all the water coming through. Right now the tide's pretty low, so it's not even barely reaching these rocks. It's a lot of stairs. All right, we've been riding around all day, kind of checking out the town. Bunch of cool little spots, nice little beach, but I'm feeling kind of sweaty and disgusting, and I'm also getting hungry for some dinner, so heading back to the van now. It's right up there. Probably gonna take a shower in the van for the first time in a long time. Set up the full hidden pull-out shower, get nice and clean, head out, and then go over to the grocery store, which is right down that street. I saw one while I was down there, and pick up some stuff for dinner, but I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for yet. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, or maybe this is your first time watching this channel, I do have a shower in my van. It is a hidden pull-out shower, so you wouldn't be able to tell because it doesn't look like it. If you look everywhere in my van, it doesn't look like there'd be a shower, but it is actually right here by the front door. And I'm feeling pretty disgusting, and there's no Planet Fitnesses or anything nearby that I can drive to, at least that's convenient enough to drive to, especially since I already found my spot tonight. So this is a perfect opportunity to utilize this shower. So if you've watched my channel before, you might be asking yourself, Ryan, why don't you use the shower more? And I think I've said it before on this channel, but it is honestly just a pain to use, especially when there's a Planet Fitness or any other option than using this shower. Most of the time I just take a shower right there in the sink. It's just a pain to pull out, but tonight it seems worth it. There you go, it's all set up. So I kind of jimmy rigged this thing when I built it, but it's made out of these PVC tubes and shark bite connectors. One PVC tube slides into the other. So once I hang it up on the roof, I can extend it out to give myself a little more room. And then when I stow it away, I can slide it back into itself and it fits right back in that cabinet. But other than getting my shower head attached, that's all I have to do to set up my shower. And it's just a really convenient option to use when I don't really have any other option and I've been sweating all day and I don't feel like getting in bed like that, which really is only when I'm in spots like this, stealth camping at the beach, where I need to keep my spot. That's when I use it. Switch for my water heaters right here. Turn that on, leave it on for 15 minutes, and I'll have 5 gallons of nice hot water to use. Take a shower. Also, the way that I built the shower was definitely not perfect, so that's another reason why I don't like to use it, because the drain in the shower doesn't match up perfectly with the drain on the floor, and the van is on a slight tilt, so I expect some water to pool up in the bottom, but I don't really care. It's been about 12 minutes, so we should have enough hot water to jump in. Ooh, that's hot. You also really don't get the best clean while you're in here. Just makes it a little bit nicer. Oh, it's so hot. Way too hot. There we go. That's a van life shower. All right, now that we're all showered and dried off, typically after I shower, I will leave it up for like 20 to 30 minutes to dry out before I pack it away and put it back down, which is the perfect amount of time for us to run over to the grocery store, grab something to cook for dinner. With my shower still up like it is, so we gotta get out the front. Have a good one. All right, got everything we need. All right, groceries required. And if you guys know anything about me, or if you watch my channel for a while, I love Asian inspired foods and Asian dishes, so we're gonna be making some sort of Asian inspired shrimp tonight. So the shrimp dish is super easy to make. First, we need our shrimp. Take those, get those pat down and nice and dry before we season them up. And then for the seasonings, we need some turmeric. And all of these seasonings, obviously, on both sides of the shrimp. Sorry, that wasn't turmeric, but we do need turmeric. That was actually the chili powder. So we need chili powder, then turmeric, some garlic powder. And then now we've got those all nice and seasoned up, we can prep the rest of the ingredients, get those cooked up, make the sauce and the rice, and we're pretty much done. And that is all the prep work we gotta do. So I love meals like this that are like super good, but also one of the easiest things you could probably cook. And an added bonus, it's good for you. Get our water boiling in the back for our rice. I'll just wait for this oil to heat up, cook up these shrimp. And also, I did forget one last ingredient for the shrimp. Coat them in soy sauce, get them nice and covered in that before we throw them in the pan. Beautiful. Throw in our rice. There we go, rice done. All right, shrimp cooks fast. So those are just about done. Take those off, set them aside. Now we can make our sauce. And for that, we need our diced up red onion, a little bit more oil, some green chilies that I could have cut fresh, but didn't feel like it, so we got the canned ones. A bunch of garlic, some soy sauce, again for this, a little bit of oyster sauce, not too much, and then to top it off, just a little bit of chili paste. Now that we've got our beautiful sauce thickening up, which is almost ready, toss in our shrimp, get those nice and coated, and now all we got to do is wait for our rice to be done, and we're eating dinner. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Rice is done, shrimp is done, and if anyone can help me with this, I rinsed off that plate that I had pulled the shrimp out and set it on before I threw it back in the pan. And I think the turmeric stained it like this neon yellow color, and I don't know why it does that, but it's happened to one of my bowls before, and I'm just now figuring out it's from the turmeric. So if anyone has any ideas for how I can clean that off, because I scrubbed it with a soap sponge and it didn't come off. So, but got some rice, throw that down, pull out our shrimp, throw those on top. Add some of that extra sauce, and then top all of that off, some fresh cilantro. Quick, easy, dinner on the beach. All right, it's getting kind of dark out. The sun is setting. So we're gonna have to keep these closed so none of this light leaks out and gives us away that we're sleeping back here. Also, for me, I actually really enjoy cooking. My towel's hung up here to dry from showering. And I think for a lot of people, it's really intimidating to try to cook something different or try out a new meal or have something other than chicken and rice. And I know this is just shrimp and rice, but sometimes when I'm cooking, I just want to show that it's super easy to make really delicious home-cooked meals super simply. I mean, if I can do it in the back of the van, anyone can do it. And they look like, admittedly, maybe this one doesn't, but they look like they take a lot more time than they do. And they taste so good. So if there's anyone out there who's intimidated by cooking or doing something like this, just give it a try something new, look up a new recipe. In a way, it's honestly kind of therapeutic. You might find something you didn't know you liked. If you're looking for a place to find recipes and things to cook online, 90% of the time I find all of my recipes on TikTok and or on other YouTube videos where it's super easy to follow the recipe and cook it. And then once you kind of get a set of recipes that you know you like to cook, you can start adding your own things and making it a little bit different. But I'll link the recipe and or the creator that I got this recipe from below in the description. So go check them out and definitely give this shrimp a try. It's really good. I will say though, I think I went a little bit heavy on the soy sauce. All right, dinner is done. Delicious, and that's a wrap on another day. Stealth camping in the back of the van. So, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I mentioned in, I don't know if it was my last video or the video before, that I'm gonna be building out a Japanese Daihatsu Hi-Jet mini truck camper as my next camper rig. And I'll overlay some of the initial designs that I have on paper right now for what I have. But essentially, I'm gonna take this mini truck, I'm getting a fiberglass shell built on the back of it, and then it is getting shipped to me all the way from the East Coast as a complete empty shell. And I'm gonna do a build series documenting the entire process of building it, camping in it, what all I'm putting into it, and I'm gonna try to turn it into the coolest truck camper you guys have ever seen. The plans I have right now are a little bit ambitious. The one thing that I am worried about though with this HiJet is, if you've ever seen one, and I'll put some overlays on the screen, they are very small, and by definition, since they are a key truck, they can't go over, I think it's 60 miles an hour, maybe it's 80, 60, I don't know. They don't have a lot of power. They are 3 cylinders. I don't know what this CC's is, but I'll put that on screen here. And basically they're not meant to be driven on highways. I don't think they have airbags. They're not very safe. So my plan is to build it out as lightweight as possible, but I also want it to be as cool as possible and as practical as possible, with almost all of the amenities that I have at the back of my van compacted down into a small little truck camper. So it's gonna have power, it's gonna have electrical, it's gonna have a monitor, it's gonna have a water system, a power system, full bed, seating places, dinner table, everything that I have in here compacted into a space about a third the size. So don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. I'm hoping that the truck camper is delivered by the end of this month, but it probably won't be. It might go a little bit into September, maybe mid-September, or possibly even late September that I actually get the truck, but I'm very excited to start that. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you like these videos, turn on notifications, do whatever you gotta do. I think it's gonna be a really cool series, and I'm really excited to get started on it. And a little sneak peek. So you guys know I have my floating LED ceiling that I built myself. I got the idea from Jared Tochi on YouTube. Go check him out, he's a great YouTuber. But in the truck camper, I'm gonna be doing a different kind of idea for the floating ceiling. So it's gonna be somewhat like this, but a little bit different. It's an idea I've had in my mind for a long time for something I wanna do on whatever the next truck camper or camper vehicle that I build is. So very excited to do that. But yeah, that's a wrap on another night of stealth camping in the back of the van. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, probably head down to the beach, take the day off, relax a little bit, and I will catch you guys next time.